What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Nutrition Talks with me, Tyson the Trainer. Now, today is going to be a question that came through from a listener because I thought, you know what? If one person has this question, multiple people are going to have the questions and it allows me to create more content too. So I thought, why the fuck not? Plus, I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. The podcast you listened to last week, I recorded just before this one. Went out, went for a walk, came back. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to record another podcast today just because I have the energy to be able to do it. And I was like, I need to get ahead. Consistency is key, obviously, showing up every week for you guys and making sure that it's here. But also with having to move soon, I want to get things ahead of time. So if I have stuff sorted out, if I have this like recorded for next week, that means it takes a little bit of stress off me. So hopefully I'm going to sound as energetic as I did in the first one. Now, today's topic, we're going to be talking about, I've covered reverse dieting before, but this person basically asks, when calories are low, should you increase them gradually or go straight back to maintenance? Why do some people say you should increase them slowly, and why do some people say, or like yourself, you should go straight back to maintenance? So this is a good little question because it does still come down to the reverse dieting side of things, but it also just comes down to, you know, what people think they want to explain from a slowed down metabolism. So the first issue that we have with this whole going back up to maintenance, the people call it different words. You know, some people call it reverse dieting. Other people, what else? I mean, that's really it, reverse dieting, or like a slow gradual increase. But the funny thing is, like, when you ask people what the definition of reverse dieting is, there are so many definitions people give that they actually don't know what the meaning of reverse dieting is. Because if you say, hey, what's reverse dieting? They'll be like, oh, well, it's a way that you increase your maintenance calories. I'm like, well, that's not reverse dieting. That's increasing maintenance calories, which, by the way, you can only do to a certain degree. You're actually not going to be tricking your metabolism, right? Secondly, people say it's a slow, gradual reverse out of a diet into a maintenance phase. And then I was like, yep, that sounds like a good explanation if that's what you think reversing the diet is. And then the other person says it's slowly increasing over time. That way we're not going to accumulate any fat gain, which is also comes down to the reverse, what people say for that second meaning. And it's just like, you guys have, like, these people have no fucking idea what they are talking about. They repeat other things that higher up coaches say, or, you know, fitfluencers say, without any of the fucking research, without any of the verbatim, without any of the actual understanding of how fucking physiology works, or chemistry, or sorry, I should say biochemistry in the body, right? People talk about, oh, well, you know, let me explain this first. Coming out of a deficit to prevent you gaining fat. What does maintenance mean? I want to ask you, what does maintenance mean? Okay? Maintaining, right? Maintaining what you're at the moment. To maintain. To be in a state of exactly where you are. Which means no, like, you know, you're not going to gain fat. You're not going to gain muscle. You're not going to lose fat. You're not going to lose muscle. You're going to maintain where you are. Okay? Maintenance. When you go from a diet to your maintenance calories, why the fuck do you think you would gain body fat? Okay, let me break this down. I like to break this down with math so people understand. If you are eating 500 calories less a day and you are losing about 450 grams a week, which means you're eating 3,500 calorie deficit for a week, which is 500 calorie deficit a day. If you're eating that much and you are losing 450 grams, if you then eat 500 extra calories a day, what is that going to do? Make you gain fat, stop you losing fat and keep you at maintenance, or some other mysterious thing that people want to talk about. Gaining fat somehow. It's fucking maintaining your weight. All you're doing is you're closing the energy gap. Okay? So this whole notion of like, you're going to prevent fat gain when we take you back to maintenance, you don't gain fat at maintenance. You don't. You can't. It's fucking impossible to gain fat at maintenance. Why? Why would you synthesize fat? Why? You can't even do it, right? You don't photosynthesize energy from the sun. You're not bringing in random extra calories. If you're going above, you know, your maintenance, then yeah, you're going to gain body fat. And people, like, that's the first thing, right? Second thing, people go, oh, well, how do you know what your new maintenance is? You just guess. You guesstimate, you predict. You can guesstimate by doing my calorie calculator. You can guesstimate by doing the rate of weight loss you've lost over the last 2 weeks. All right, because like I've said, for every 100 calories you're in a deficit, you're going to lose about 90 grams on the scale a week. Now again, 100 and 200 calories are too small to see actual changes. So we're going to start from a 300 calorie deficit, which means a 300 calorie deficit a day, which is 2100 calories deficit a week, is going to roughly equal about 270 grams lost on the scale. Not exactly 270 grams lost, okay? But that's what the math should weigh out to be. If it's a 400 calorie deficit, it's going to be 360 grams. If it's a 500 calorie deficit, it's going to be 450 grams, okay? So knowing this, based on your last 2 weeks of weight loss and what it's been, if it's consistently shown you've lost about 300 to 500 grams, you're probably in about a 400 calorie deficit. That's how you guess what your maintenance is, based on that. Or you use a predictive equation, okay? Now here's the thing. People go, oh, well, your metabolism slows down, it adapts as you diet. It does, but it also adapts back up when you give it the calories it needs. The body becomes more efficient the longer you are dieting and the leaner you get. When I say by more efficient, it will do things that require less energy for the same task, okay? It will figure out how to save calories when you're walking. It will figure out how to save calories when you're sitting down doing nothing. It'll figure out how to be more efficient when you are exercising, okay? Because the body's like, holy shit, there's not enough food coming in. We need to be efficient here. However, when you give the body enough food, it will become less efficient with that food. And that means you will burn extra energy doing the same tasks you were doing, okay? Because the body's like, oh, we've got extra energy coming in. We can actually expend a little bit more too. I'm going to increase my overall activity. I'm going to increase my fidgeting when I sit down. I'm going to push myself harder in the gym and burn calories. I'm going to have more energy to get up and go and do stuff instead of sitting around like a sloth. The body wants, like, you know, they say food is fuel. Food is fucking fuel. You give yourself the fuel, your body will want to move and do stuff with the fuel, okay? And it becomes less efficient. I hope that makes sense, right? Let me explain that so far. The other thing about people say, oh, your metabolism slows down when you lose weight. It really doesn't change that much for small amounts of weight loss. When you start moving above like 8 kilos, you're going to see possibly 1 to 200 calorie shift in your overall calorie burn. But like, if you do the math of my equation, or you know what, even do the math in if you don't want to use my calculator, just look up an online calculator. Put in your weight. Let's say you're 80 kilos. Put in 80 kilos, okay? Figure out what the calories say based on all the bullshit you put in there. Okay, cool. Now put in 79 kilos. Now put in 78 kilos. It's going to show you like a 30 to 50 calorie fucking difference per kilo, okay? That's not a lot, 30, probably not even not even 50, I'd say about 30. Like, a kilo body weight lost is not a lot for the body. You have to lose significant amounts of weight for it to drastically affect your metabolism overall. And do you know why it affects your metabolism, the more you lose? Because you're a lighter person. If I stand next to my partner and she's 60 kilos and I'm 32 kilos heavier than her, I'm going to fucking burn a lot more energy than her just because I'm a heavier individual, okay? If I lose weight, it requires less energy for the body to keep me doing the same activities. A 70 kilo person versus an 80 kilo person, a 10 kilos difference, for those of you who listen to the US, is 22 pounds. That requires a lot less energy. Like, just hold 10 kilos in your hand versus 20 kilos in your hand to notice the difference. Sorry, one hand with nothing, one hand with 10 kilos. So you're gonna feel the weight pulling on you, right? It requires more effort. Carry around a 10 kilo plate with you all day. You're gonna realize, oh fuck, that actually requires a fair bit of effort. And that's why you'll burn more calories just doing everyday life when you are heavier and when you are lighter. It's not that your metabolism slows down. It's not that it's getting broken or any of that. It's just because you are a lighter individual. That's all that matters, okay? Or unless you've done something really stupid, which is lose over 10 to 50, I'd say probably 15 plus kilos in a very short amount of time with excessive strict dieting and excessive exercise. If those of you that have I've dieted strict in the past and I feel like I've ruined my metabolism, you fucking haven't, okay? You got to do biggest loser style of shit to damage your metabolism. And even then, metabolisms have repaired themselves after that too, okay? If you want to know if your metabolism is broken, go and get a blood test done and go and check your thyroid and your T3, your T4. That'll tell you real quick, because if your thyroid, which is actually going to affect basically in a way the calories you burn, that'll be a big fucking indicator whether you've ruined your metabolism or not. A lot of people think, oh yeah, I have. You haven't, all right? So again, This is what I'm trying to explain to you about this whole, need to reverse, stop the fat gain, stop the fucking stop your metabolism slowing down, all that bullshit. That's all fucking nonsense, okay? It just requires a bit of fucking knowledge to understand the body about why that doesn't work. Then we talk about, okay, we're going to increase your maintenance calories. I guarantee you, if you do a predictive maintenance calories based on my calorie calculator, it will be roughly the same or even possibly higher than what some idiot that's telling you how to reverse diet up to higher calories, okay? Because guess what? Again, the body is adaptable. There's only so many calories you can have before you start gaining body fat. If we could actually increase our calories higher than our predicted maintenance and even higher, everyone would be eating 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 fucking calories, but it doesn't happen, okay? So it's like, use a predictive equation. Don't fucking worry about this reverse dieting bullshit. Now, why should we go straight from a deficit to maintenance? Number one is because the longer you stay in a deficit or a deficit range, the more issues you're going to have with your body. When I say issues, your sex hormones will be lower. Your energy will be lower. Your mood will be lower. Your fatigue will be higher. You'll be weaker. You will have shit sleep. You'll have low energy. You'll be a moody cunt. You'll still be food focused. You'll still be hungry all the time. You'll have an unregulated appetite. You're going to have something called low energy availability. You're just dragging out a fucking process that doesn't need to be done anymore. Like, if you don't want to lose any more body fat, get the fuck out of a deficit, because the longer you prolong it, again, the higher the chance you actually have of continuously falling off track because you're still fucking hungry. The longer your appetite will be unregulated, which again will make you more food focused, which is going to negatively impact your life. The less social events you're still going to go to or being able to eat out because you're still fucking food deprived, the shittier your workouts are going to be, is because you don't have enough muscle glycogen or enough energy to get through a fucking workout. Everything is going to be an issue, okay? And especially for those of you that exercise more frequently, who are athletes, whether it be twice a day training, whether it be doing cardio and weight training, all that stuff, you will have something called low energy availability, which starts to affect your bone density, which can affect, for a female, losing your menstrual cycle, which can, for a male, ruining your testosterone, which can cause, what else? Hair loss, a whole bunch of shit, okay? So the reason I get everyone to go straight to maintenance calories is because it's for their fucking own health. It's for their health. Not just their physical health, but their mental health. If you, again, improve your relationship with food, take away your food focus, have a regular appetite again, so you're not fucking thinking about every meal and hungry all the time, this will put you in such a better place, okay? Not only that, is that it's just kind of like, you putting your hand over the stove. The stove's hot. You've just touched a really fucking hot stove, okay? You're like, oh shit. But instead of pulling your hand all the way to get away from it, you just lift it a millimeter away. So it's still searing your hand, and you're just take your hand away. You're like, nah, oh, I just need to go a little bit further away. So you go 2 millimeters away. And it's like, stop fucking burning yourself and take your hand away. Just move. All you have to do is move. And the same thing. People are like, oh, nah, but I just don't want to gain body fat. Oh, I just don't want to. And it's like, you won't gain body fat eating at maintenance calories. I don't know why that doesn't comprehend. I don't understand. Where are you stuck with understanding this? If you are in a deficit, you eat enough to stop the deficit, how will you gain body fat? As long as you're not eating like a cunt, you're not going to gain body fat. Right? I hope that makes sense, okay? So should you go straight to a maintenance? Yes. Why should you reverse diet when it's a good time? Fucking, it's not a good time. Never. It's never a good time to reverse diet. And what if you're scared about binging when you go to maintenance? This is where it comes down to increasing the current portion sizes of the meals you have. Okay? So if you're eating the same type of shit at maintenance that you are dieting, which roughly you should be, okay? Because to make something a lifestyle change, you need it to be realistic. And if you've gone dieting and you've just changed completely, you're eating it's just fucking low sugar everything, low fat everything, super low calorie, bullshit protein ice cream, fucking sugar-free maple syrup on all your fucking food, zucchini oats and all that shit. That's not sustainable, okay? People, if you tell me you like it, you're a fucking liar. I'm telling you right now, okay? You know why you say you like it? Because you're delusional and you're diet fatigued. That's the reason. So what you should be doing is, what I talk about, the 85-15 15% principle. 85 of your food is whole nutritious food, which is, your plants, your protein, basically. Whole grains, fruits, veggies, protein, etc., etc. 15% enjoyable food, okay? You should be doing that when you're dieting. You should be doing that when you're in maintenance. So basically, what I like to tell people is whatever you're fucking eating at a dieting phase, like for breakfast, you should be able just to increase that portion, okay? So if you're having, let's say, for me, I will have the overnight wheat bix. What can I do to increase my portions? I can increase the amount of wheat bix I have. I can increase the amount of yogurt I have. I can add extra berries. I can add more calorie dense fruit, like dried fruit. I can add honey on top. I can add a little bit of peanut butter on top. That's how I make that meal more calorie dense without changing the meal. And it's still good. I can have that in a diet and I can have that at maintenance. What about lunch? I can increase my carbohydrate intake. I can add more potato. I can add more rice. I can add more flavorings. Like I might add a high calorie soy sauce or hoisin sauce, whatever it's going to be. I could add more pasta. Like I can add my grains. I can increase my grains and my carbohydrates basically. I can increase my fats by adding more olive oil, which is a great source of monounsaturated fats. I could add avocado to my diet. I could change my protein source to something fattier, like a fattier cut of fish or trout. I could change my chicken breast to chicken thigh. I could change my 95% lean beef mince to 90% lean beef mince. Like this is what we want to do to change our calorie intake without completely overhauling the whole meal. And this is why a lot of people fuck up, because you have two completely different ways you eat when you diet, when you're not dieting, and you wonder why you can't stick to it. It's because you're not teaching yourself the good habits and behaviors. And so if you're like, okay, I'm scared to overeat, if you increase those portion sizes, which these foods are very filling, good nutrient intake in them, that's basically it, very filling and good nutrient intake, you're going to be full. You're not going to be full food focused. You're still going to have those little bit extra calories. Again, if you're increasing by 500 calories a day, and you increase each portion, breakfast, lunch, dinner, let's say, and snack, by 150 calories, that's 450 calories, okay? Now, let's say for a snack, again, you want something enjoyable, you increase that by 150 calories your snack, that's an extra whatever you want. An extra fucking row of chocolate. You could have that dessert, you can skip the snack and have a dessert and have something a little bit high in calories there. That's how you fit shit in that you still want to enjoy and you have that 85%. Or again, if you want to fucking, for breakfast, if you want your Biscoff instead of your peanut butter, you have your Biscoff there. If for lunch you want to have a little fucking, or a snack, again, you want to have one of those Carmen's protein bars that I love, that's a fucking great snack too. This is what you want to be aiming for, okay? So the goal here for you is not to reverse diet out and take it slowly and be scared of fat gain and all this other bullshit that people are making you think about. The goal for you is to get away from the fucking stove as fast as possible and to get to maintenance calories. And by doing that, you will reduce your hunger, increase your satiation, take away your food focus, feel better, have more energy, be able to push harder, not be a miserable cunt, and have good, and just enjoy life a little bit more, being out of diet, okay? Do not prolong the fucking deficit. You're just dragging out the inevitable, and again, there's a higher chance you'll keep falling off track, you'll keep losing results, and you just will be miserable about it, all right? So, I hope that answered the question. If you guys are interested in coaching, if you need someone who's actually going to tell you the fucking truth and get you results without giving you all this bullshit that I always talk about that other coaches do, please send me a message on Instagram, or again, click the link in this in the description. You can look at my online coaching. There's plenty of opportunities there for people to come on board and to actually get results while improving their food relationship. So until next time, my friends, I'll speak to you then.